Hi folks, I'm Kutzer with the Orvis Fly Fishing Schools. I get asked a lot about how to cast a sinking line, and sinking lines can be a little bit tricky to cast, but I'm going to give you a couple tips on how to make that cast a little bit easier. When we're using a sinking line, some of the things we want to think about is where that sink tip begins and where it ends on that fly line. A lot of sinking lines these days are two colors. This one you can see it goes from black to white. Black in my right hand here, or what you're seeing is your left, and then white over here in my left hand, or what you're seeing is white, or right. So when I cast this sinking line, I want to know where that sinking section is, or where that color change happens. That's going to make it a lot easier. Now, casting sinking lines using heavier rods, if you're doing this all day long, making this back cast and this forward cast, this is going to wear you out. We basically want to make that cast once we get to that color change and let it fly. Notice that color change kind of in the rod. There it's at the tip. Now I'm just going to let it sail. Sinking lines are great because they cast a long ways pretty effectively, pretty easily, but we don't want to wear ourselves out. Make a couple casts, get that sinking section up to the tip of the rod, and then let it fly. Now, when you want to make your next cast, this is something you also have to keep in mind. This line is very, very heavy. It's very, very difficult to take this line and just pick it up off the water. You can see that fly didn't quite make it back here. That's because that line is sinking down in the water column. We got to either strip that line in and get that fly close to us so we can start that cast again, or we're going to have to roll cast it up to the surface. You can see the sinking line's already got me buried in the weeds. This is a 450 grain sinking line. This is usually the setup I'd use for big stripers. You can see it gets down. This was down here on the bottom. So I'm going to clean this fly off. And watch again, if I cast this out over the water, there's my color change, I let it fly. If I wait just a couple seconds, even if I strip it into that color change, there it is, I can't pick this line up. It's too heavy, it's too much weight. But I can do that right there. I can roll cast this up to the surface, pick it up, and then let it fly back out there, and I can get back in the zone fishing again. So with these heavy sinking lines, you either strip them in, get that color change in, have that fly pretty close, then you can pick it up pretty easily, make a couple casts, and now I shoot that line out there, or strip in a little bit of line, get that color change back up by the rod tip, make a roll cast. It's not going to come all the way out of the water. Make 2 roll casts maybe, then you can pick it up and let it fly, and you can get back into that zone. Sinking lines take a little bit of practice, they take a little bit of time to get comfortable with, but if you know where that color change is, you know where that sinking section is, it's going to make it a lot easier. Just keep in mind, a lot of these sinking lines, they have these 2 color changes like this one right here that are going to make it a lot easier. I'm Kutzer, and this is Ask a Fly Casting Instructor. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out some of our other YouTube videos, and if you have any questions or comments, please let us know, and I'd be happy to do another video for you. Thanks again.